Welcome back, listener. How is everybody doing today? Or should I say bonjour à tous, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to this very French episode of Aaron's Opinion, the podcast for blind people where we talk about critical issues in the blindness community. By the way, everything I'm saying today is copywritten by Aaron Richmond and Aaron's Opinion. Aaron's Opinion is a podcast that can be heard almost anywhere you get a podcast, from Apple to Spreaker to Spotify, or even on YouTube, even on Facebook, even on Twitter. And you might even want to follow us on Patreon. Well, as I said, it's a very French episode today because, as a matter of fact, my guest is someone who is not blind, but we're still really happy he's here. We want to give a very warm welcome to Laurent from France, who over the past 30 years, he has been working in R&D, probably as a chemist. He's been working for some companies for 30 years. But about 10 years ago, his mother became blind, like us in the audience. And he thought that there needed to be some sort of a game or some sort of an activity so that blind people can still solve puzzles and learn about vocabulary and things like that. So last year, he created Brain Games, braingames.com. Laurent, welcome to Aaron's Opinion. How are you doing?
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I'm fine, thank you. It's end of the day in France, so it has been a long day again, but I'm very fine to share with you concerning this application. I hope you will understand all what I will say with my French accent,
I hope you will understand everything I say with my French accent. So yes, you are welcome. So let's say, for example, the first question that I would ask you is, can you talk in more detail about your motivation for developing braingames.com? Why you did it, why and how and all of that stuff.
Sure, I'll try to explain my story.
Sure.
As you told just before, my mother has been blind for 10 years now, and I follow her every year, every week, every day, and I saw her with all the difficulties she had to continue to live in a good way, have funny time, have brain games. She loved that before, and she couldn't do it anymore. So, following what happens with her, I was sure there was something to do to help blind people or visually impaired ones too, because this game has two modes to play. And the idea was to find a solution with the new technology on mobile and tablets to help people go on playing crossword games or any other brain games using the voice on their mobile or on their tablets. So it was the idea. It took many years to find the solution. As you told, I was R&D manager in medtech society. And 2 years ago, I decided to change and to found my company. It took 1 year to have it, and now my company has been created beginning of this year, and I have launched a development of this brain game with a team of 6 people, some specialists on the computer and the game design, especially for this application. So it takes really some time, but now this game is ready. It has been launched on Android yet, and it will be on Apple store in few weeks. And the idea of this game is really to, if I was clear enough, it was really done to help blind people go on playing brain games only using the screen with one finger and speaking with the mobile. That's the idea.
Okay, excellent. So I think as long as I understood you well, I think the point of your company is to give blind people the opportunity to play brain games using their smartphone and their voiceover software, right?
Yes, not voiceover. When you will play this game, you will have to stop the voiceover. You will open the game with the voiceover, and just after having this opened, another voice will guide you to go on the game, but you will have to close voiceover because voiceover you need the screen with your finger to follow this tool. And when you will play with my game, you will have to use the screen in another way. So you will just have to touch the screen. When you will touch the screen, it will open the microphone. Then you will speak. Then you will remove your finger, and that's all. That means you cannot do this operation when VoiceOver is open. So the idea is to open the game using VoiceOver if you need, of course. And then after it is opened, you close VoiceOver and you follow the game because all is explained with the voice. So you will have just to listen to the voice, which comes from the game and not anymore from VoiceOver. And you will follow what they ask you to do, and you will find the way to play this game. You know, all the definition will be said, and you will have to touch the screen and give the answer, or touch the screen and ask to repeat the definition, to give the answer, to give some helps, some letters, and so on. You know, to go on finding the good word you have to find. I hope it's for you. You spoke about VoiceOver.
Yes.
You have to close VoiceOver to use the game. Yeah?
Right, right. So yes, I understood you. Yes, great, excellent. So, listener, basically, what you would do is you would turn off VoiceOver, or you would open the game and then you would turn VoiceOver off,
Yeah.
and then the game has its own speech software that guides you through the software and how to play.
Exactly.
Yes. Now, a lot of people in the Aaron's
And just
opinion. Yes,
yes.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, the only point I wanted to mention here, even if I know that all your group, your community is blind people, this game has two modes. The one I just explained you how it works, and the second one, it's really a touch and vocal way. That means if you're not completely blind and if you have some possibilities to read a little bit, then this game is done for you because you will have the possibility to play the game using your view, more or less, and using the microphone. That means for visual impaired people, this mode, which is the second one in the game, will give them the possibility to play in a mode which gives you the voice and the touch way to play. That's really important for me because it was part of the game because I'm quite sure that for the one who agrees, like my mother several years ago, this kind of game will help her go on read, go on working with her eyes in the same with the voice helping her to do this. You know, so it's not for the blind people at this point, but it's important to explain you that this game has two modes: one totally vocal for your group, for example, but the other one also really important, I think, to help people with part of the view or really low level of the view, which works yet, then to help with the voice going further. I hope it's clear what I explained to you.
I believe so. So I think that there are two modes to the game, listener. I think one mode is auditory only, where it's just listening, and I do not see anything. I think the second mode is a mode where, along with the hearing and along with the voice, there are some visual cues, some things to look at with my eyes on the screen for people who do not see well, but still need the help of the voice.
Exactly, and
Yes.
that's
Okay.
what was interesting for orthophonists, for example, or ophthalmologists, they think it could be a good tool to help them go on with their view. But it's okay. It's not the discussion of today, but I wanted
Sure.
to precise
No, no,
this.
absolutely, that can be part of the discussion.
Okay.
I want to, no, no, I want to dig in. I want to dig into that.
Okay.
I think that is very interesting that ophthalmologists have responded to your product. So um, uh, have ophthalmologists in France talk to you about
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
game. Well, let's talk
Sure,
about that.
sure. Of course.
So what did they say? That's really
They
cool.
helped me. They helped ophthalmologists, and more than this, orthophonist. I don't know if the good name in English. That means the one who, after the ophthalmologist, when you have to work with your eyes, you have some exercises to do, and there is some specialists
Hmm.
who help you to do this. And that means in French it's orthophonist. I don't know if it's the same in England, but that's people who help you working with your eyes when you have difficulties. So,
Yeah. In American English, we would just say that is a low vision specialist. Someone.
exactly.
Okay,
And they
that is
helped me.
interesting.
They saw the first versions of the game, several ones, to be honest, and then they helped me finding the good way to really answer the needs they have with the patients. So this mode, the second mode, and that's why I explained you that this kind of game can be played on mobile, but also on tablets. On mobile, it's really when you want to use it with the vocal way
Hmm.
only. But if you want to to improve your view, then the tablet is really done for this. The pad, the iPad, for
Yes.
example. If you use
Yes.
an iPad with this game, then you will have you will have a landscape view, and not
Yes.
and using the landscape view, you have a really large screen to play with your view and with the microphone, and that's really what was interesting for ophthalmologists and low vision specialists.
That's so I want to talk about that more because I agree with them. I think it is really interesting. And a little bit more about my background. Obviously, yesterday, the most for you, or really for me, the most entertaining part of my background is that I'm an American who speaks French and I love France and I've been to France 3 times. But
Thanks.
the more interesting part and the more relevant part to the podcast is that I was born blind with glaucoma, le glaucome, I believe, and and because of that, I have had um, some usable vision for my entire life. I have had to undergo 7 surgeries to repair my corneas
Mm.
when I was very, very small, when I was a baby or infant, or supposedly the most recent surgery was when I was 5 years old. So, I'm someone who's comfortable being blind. I am someone who I think the issue of low vision specialization, it's cool for people who maybe are recently becoming blind or have become blind as older adults because they
Exactly.
need more help to adapt to the changes of blindness. But when you're born blind, the only way that I can say this, and it's a pretty direct way of saying it, when you're born blind, I don't mind that I'm blind. I don't care that I'm blind. So, it's something that doesn't bother me. So these types of technology are very interesting to me because I'm interested that people sometimes approach vision loss um, from a kind of a therapeutic
Absolutely.
position. Yeah,
That's it. That's
and
exactly
and
it.
exactly. And but do you see what I'm saying? How to me as a blind person my whole life, that's kind of
Completely.
strange. It's kind of weird and it's kind of strange to me because I'm used to it. It's like who I am, you know?
I, I totally understand. And the fact is, for the one who lose their view late, they have they they have the feeling that they cannot do